So the next order of business, certificates of election and affidavit of residency submitted from the newly elected. Excellent. Perfect. Moving on, the oath of office. We'll start with Bob Bickerton. Please stand. What's that? All together? All together? Yeah. All right, so yeah, we could have Roberta, Whitney, Margaret, and Paris.
So we stand in the middle and stand back?
Yeah.
Not being the same way?
Yeah. Do you want to do what? You don't want to read them each individually.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I'm just
Stay
thinking
where you
photo
are.
op.
All right.
Really good.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge my duties of council member of the Borough of Beaver with fidelity.
and I will discharge my duties
My duties.
with fidelity.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You may have a seat. All right. Next order of business, I will have the secretary do the roll call.
Mr. Bickerton.
Here.
Mr. Dilo.
Present.
Ms. Good. Present. Mr. Heineman.
Present.
Ms. Lauren Konjeski. Present. Ms. McKean. Present. Mr. Thomas.
Here.
Mayor Kretschmar.
Here.
Chief Madgar.
Here.
Solicitor Fidelis.
Here. Excellent. All right. So I would like to open the floor at this time for nominations.
I'd like to nominate Roberta Good for president, please.
Okay. So nominate. Are there any other nominations? There are
We
none nominated
don't
for
need to do a second for nominations. We have a nomination for Ms. Good.
Any other nominations? All right, at this time, I'll close nominations. Motion to close, please.
Can I make sure that Roberta is willing to discharge the duties before we place them upon her?
I am.
Thank you. Thank you, Roberta.
So we need a motion to close it.
All right, motion to close. Todd.
Is there a second? Peggy, second. Now, the motion would be a motion, the vote would be the vote for Ms. Good as council president.
All right, so may I have a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Any abstains? No. Okay. The motion carries. Congratulations,
Now we need nominations for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Whitney Konjeski.
Okay, are there any other nominations for vice president? We have Whitney, Lauren Konjeski, and no other nominations for vice president?
Motion closed.
Then I'd like to close the motions. Do I have a second?
You don't need a second.
Yeah, you can make the motion. She made a motion to close. Is there a second for a motion to close the nominations for vice president? Mr. Dilo. Now we'll have a vote. All in favor?
All those in favor of Whitney, Lauren Konjeski to be the vice president, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion's carried, and congratulations, Whitney. And we're going to move to public comment, but before we do public comment, I do want to just remind everyone that this is not a regular council meeting. This is specifically a reorganization meeting. We have 28 motions that we will need to go through the course of the meeting, and I will be calling on different individuals to do the motions. public comment. Is there anyone in the crowd that would like to make some comments? Please state your name, your residence, and your ward.
Okay, I'll go, no one else wants to go? Many of you already know me, my name is Ellen Kretschmar, I live in Ward 2. First, I would like to congratulate my brother, Lincoln Kretschmar, on becoming mayor. Um, And next, I want to just say that I'm disappointed in your choice for vice president. I've actually attended more meetings the last year in 2025 than Mrs. Justy Learn did. So having her as a backup to run meetings might not have been the most decision-based or information-based decision that you've made so far. And also, I wanted to throw my ring in the hat for one of the seats for Ward 2. The reasons, what's that?
I know your name.
Okay, I just wanted to also address, if I can, since it's public comments, if you don't mind, because many of them already know me. Jared and I know each other from childhood. Of course, I know my brother. And again, I've been attending council meetings since 2023. And I have 20 years of business consulting experience. I have the time to do it. I have no conflict of interest. And again, these are my views. I have no ownership in Kretschmar's Bakery, so this is not a view of the owner of Kretschmar's Bakery, the employees, or anyone else. So every time I speak, it'll be for me and myself alone. The other is, Sean's not here, is he?
No, it's not.
Okay, so, our previous Ward 2, Sean Snowden is on the agenda for him to resign, this evening, and he said publicly before that he would hope I would get the opportunity to serve. So I would like to do that, and I don't have a conflict of interest, that any of my family is part of the borough employee staff, so you wouldn't have to worry about anything like that. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Yes. State
Rick
your
Bernard,
name, your address, and
391 Laura Street, Beaver. I think it's Ward 3, but I'm not sure.
That's
One, whatever it is. Proud to be from. I want to say congratulations to Lincoln. I'm praying for you, your family, and everyone in here that there's unity. That's what's going to make Beaver move forward. Division never works. In Jesus' name.
thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay, so we're gonna move to the motions, and the first one is for borough solicitor, so Vicki, can I ask you to do the motion?
Yes. I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint the law firm of Santacola, Steele, and Fidelis, PC as borough solicitor.
Is there a second?
Second.
We will do a vote on, borough solicitor from the law firm of Santacola, Steele, and Fidelis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Garen, should I abstain from this one?
Yeah, you can, because technically Bob's company we utilize Bob's company for the purposes of computer information, so. Yeah, you probably should.
Okay, anyone that's opposing, this law firm? Okay, so that motion is passed, and congratulations, Garen,
Thank you.
I'm glad you're in there.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one is for borough manager. Peg, would you mind doing borough manager?
Sure. I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint Daniel Madgar as the Beaver Borough Manager.
And do I have a second? Mike?
Before it's called for a vote, may I speak?
Okay.
So I'd like to point out that since Dan does serve also as police chief, I'm going to be requesting a memorandum of understanding with him to remain in that role, and that I'm going to be requesting him to earn the salary that he gets paid from the police department, and so I will be requesting for him to wear his uniform when on duty, track his time when he's working for the police department versus when he's doing borough manager work, and also to return to the schedule on patrol. And so I would like council to be aware that since I'm gonna be requesting this of any police chief, not just Dan, if we put somebody else in the police chief, this is the role of the police chief.
Just make to accomplish, let us know what you're trying to accomplish for us, if you don't mind.
Sure, to get the taxpayers' money's worth from the chief of police.
Maybe Mr. Walker, getting that right now, is what you're trying to say?
Correct, yes.
Why do you have to, what's your evidence of that?
Oh, yeah, so I don't believe that Dan can serve.
Or you believe, what's your evidence of that? Believe is one thing, evidence is another.
Sure,
Okay,
sure. So,
One minute, please.
Sure.
Okay, this is not the time for you to debate.
but this is the time that you were appointing him.
This is not the time for the debate, and we can postpone that debate to the next regular council meeting.
Karen, can you confirm if that is the case or not? Is this the time to discuss this or not?
Well, it sounds to me that the issues you're discussing are more along the lines of his police chief role, not necessarily the manager role.
Correct.
The motion in front of you is in front of council is for the borough manager. So I think the questions you have are probably better addressed, more so in the role as a police chief than the manager.
Okay.
But if and when he chooses to do that, is this the time and place to be discussing all of that, all of his concerns?
Here at the reorganization meeting?
Yeah.
Probably not. Because the police chief isn't listed here on the agenda for the purposes of employment. This is just for the manager position. And the manager position is the borough council position. They want to select as their group.
Okay, so I'm gonna return. Public comments are off. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to the motion, and how many are, who's in favor of Dan Magar being the borough manager? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried, and Dan will be the manager of Beaver Borough. Okay, borough secretary, Mr. Delo, can I ask you to do the borough secretary motion?
Yes, I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint Rebecca Phillips as the Borough Secretary.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor of Rebecca Phillips as the borough secretary, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
One exception.
And we have one abstention. The vote is sealed, and you will be our secretary. Okay, borough treasurer. Bob, may I ask you to do this?
Move the Beaver Borough Council report Daniel Magar as the borough treasurer.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, Todd Hyman. Okay, all those in favor of Dan being the borough treasurer, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried, and Dan, you get to be the treasurer as well as the manager. Congratulations. Okay. All right, we're gonna move to borough engineer, and Todd, may I ask you to do the motion?
I move that Beaver Borough Council appoint Martone Engineering as the borough engineer.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of Dan Martin being the borough engineer, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Dan.
Thank you.
Moving right along, we were at the borough financial auditor, and Jared, can I ask you to do that?
I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint Butler, Agnew and Associates LLC as the independent financial auditor for Beaver Borough.
And a second? Todd? All those in favor of, I'm sorry, all those in favor of, the code inspector, the right to know officer, okay,
No, we're voting on number 8. So we had a motion in a second. All in favor of Butler Avenue and Associates as the independent.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, all those in favor of Butler Associates, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion is passed. I apologize for the error. Okay, Ed, would you please do the right to know officer?
Sure. I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint Rebecca Phillips as Beaver Borough's right to know officer.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of Rebecca Phillips as the Beaver Borough's right to know officer, please say
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
Any abstention? Motion is passed. Congratulations, Rebecca. Zoning officer. Bob, do you want to do zoning officer?
Move the Beaver Borough Council reappoint Dan Martone as zoning officer for Beaver Borough.
A second? Mr. Tilo, okay. All those in favor of Mr. Martone being the zoning officer for Beaver Borough, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, building code inspector. Todd, will you do this one for me?
I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint Middle Department Inspection Agency, MDIA, and a representative as building code inspector.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Bob. Okay. All those in favor of the Middle Department Inspection Agency to serve as the representative as the building code inspector, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried. Let's see, Jared, would you mind doing the official?
Yep. I move that Beaver Borough Council reappoint the Beaver County Times as the official publication of Beaver Borough.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the Beaver Borough Council appointing Beaver County Times as the official publication of Beaver Borough, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Whitney, would you like to do 13?
Sure. I move that Beaver Borough Council designate Dan Magner of his designee as the official media contact and spokesperson for Beaver Borough and Beaver Borough Police Department. The media contact shall be authorized to speak on behalf of the borough to all forms of media and oversee messaging of borough-controlled social media platforms.
Okay, do I have a second? Todd? All those in favor?
Actually, before you take the vote, may I speak again?
I'm sorry, is the mayor allowed to be in discussion with our running?
It's a council meeting, right? We're doing a council meeting now. so,
Right.
Yeah, it's council.
Yes, and the mayor can only speak during the term. There.
He's an elected official, so for the purposes of making a comment, he's permitted to do so.
So I'd like to comment on the motion. President,
I'm sorry?
would you recognize me to comment on the
Yes, I
motion?
will.
Excellent, thank you. So with the media contact and spokesperson, if you make Dan that, you're welcome to do that for the borough. The police department, I have full control over both the social media and all media around the police department, so I think this motion needs to be amended, first off, and remove the police department from that. Further, I would say that this is poorly thought out, and the reason being, so is Dan gonna do the ceremonial things that the mayor does as the head spokesperson for the town? So is he going to be the one with the parades? Is he gonna be the one to speak at light of night?
You know what, I am gonna put a pause, and ask you to, let's table this and let's, talk about this further at, the general meeting.
Excellent. I'm glad you tabled it.
We would need a motion to table this. We have a motion in a second.
Do I have a motion to table?
I move that we table it. I also, have a different type of concern about this, and I will raise it at the tabling meeting. But I move that we table this for our follow-on council meeting.
I have a quick question. Are we allowed to discuss it?
We gotta get a second first.
Yes.
You second.
No, I'm not seconding.
Somebody has to second.
For the motion to table, right?
The
So
motion,
we need a second for the motion to table.
Correct.
I will second that.
So now we can have discussions on the motion to table.
My question is, who else they're hired to do this position? No other borough or local municipality has anybody else running it other than the hired neutral body. So who are we gonna have to do it?
Well, that was gonna be my suggestion. I think that because it is a public affairs position, and this is geared towards the public's right to know and public information, that it should be one of our senior elected officials. And I was gonna suggest either Roberta as council president or Lincoln.
Can you put me in any example that is around here that an elected public official runs a social media platform? That is like to represent the borough itself, not themselves individually.
No, this would be the borough's social media platform. It wouldn't be theirs. They they would consult as necessary with Garen, with Dan, with any relevant official on council, but they would be the public face because they are an elected official resident in Beaver. This is nothing to take away from Dan, but I think it should be one of our senior elected officials. That's all.
I think there might be clarification. I think what I was gonna say is, I think what's happening is if an event happens tonight at 2:00 in the morning and Ken calls and we come in and there's something going on and it needs immediate, I think if there's some type of an announcement, 'cause I'm not sure what council's getting, but I mean, there's stuff that immediately has to happen and go out on the boroughs and there's no time to wait, or if there's something, so I just wanna make sure everybody's not going in different directions and you're talking about the same thing or vice
Yeah,
versa.
the intention of this is for the purposes of situations where information needs to get out to the public. Generally speaking, you don't want 9 different people, if there's a water leak somewhere, saying, hey, here's what's going on. The intention of this is to funnel that through one person who would essentially be the contact for those type of events. Obviously, you as all elected officials have the right to speak to the media whenever you want, but for the purposes of getting out messages, what the intention of this would be is that it would be gone through one person.
In other governments, I know we obviously have the same person acting as the manager and the police chief, but in other towns, would you have the police chief being the contact for the police department in this, and then the borough manager, so they would be separately?
Those are the two people in my experiences who would be the ones who would, I would say, officially be assigned to these tasks.
So my question is this a motion that can be tabled because of the urgency of knowing who would be our social media contact person? Can we,
Right now, we have a motion and a second to table, so I think we have to call that to vote, and then we could see where it goes.
okay, so,
I also have a motion in a second for the original motion.
Right, but a motion to table trumps
I
that.
just want to get
Right.
okay. All those in favor of tabling
Well,
the motion?
Is this the proper time to, time sensitive wise, pushing this off? Garen, would you recommend us doing this now, whichever way we go, or tabling it to the next meeting?
Decisions got to be made at some point on this stuff, right?
What's that?
A decision's got to be made at some point on this stuff.
Right.
As far as who the, I mean, if there's no one there, we'll work through it to the extent something comes up over the next 3 weeks.
I've only been doing it for the last 11 years, so I mean.
Well, tabling it means that Dan could still function in the role until we have a further discussion on it. I have no problem with that.
Well, don't we have to vote first to see if it is
Right,
tabled?
okay, so we need to vote if we're going to table it.
Yeah.
All those in favor of tabling it, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
No.
So the motion doesn't table, so we go back to the original motion, which has already been motioned in second, and we could have a vote on the motion in second for the underlying motion.
So the motion that is going to be voted on now is, I'm going to read this again. I move the Beaver Borough Council designate Dan Magler or his designee as the official media contact and spokesperson for Beaver Borough and Beaver Borough Police Department. The media contact shall be authorized to speak on behalf of the borough to all forms of media and oversee messaging of borough-controlled social media platforms. Do I have a second?
I think we already have a motion in a second.
Okay.
So-
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
We can still discuss it, correct?
Correct.
So my last question is there any, Garen, this is for you, other towns that allow or utilize the mayor position to have a role in doing this messaging? Or is it strictly typically between the police chief and the borough manager?
And again, I guess this is where there might be a little disconnect. The messaging from the police department side is more along the lines of official action. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we put out a reward one time for something. It's more official stuff. It's not necessarily what I would call fluff.
If we have a hit and run or we have something and somebody's on video, hey, do you know this person? Please notify. Things like that. That's what the police on the borough and.
Has anything like that ever been posted?
Yeah.
This is not an unusual motion. I mean, we're acting like it's something, oh, this is creepy. We do this every year. It's not, first, you say here, it's
Scott, I would like to say, I think the mayor had a valid point before, though. If you look at, all the, on the news reports around the Pittsburgh area, many times you'll see the mayor being the spokesperson for that community, including, I know recently when there was a problem in Elwood City, the mayor of Elwood City was on TV. And what we're looking for, obviously, is what's called commonly in industry as a press contact. So you're looking for someone who can provide the information in a typically a positive manner. You want someone that's going to be able to make it. Now, for us on council to appoint a person to do that is for council activities is certainly within our ability to do that. On the police department, obviously, since the mayor is in charge of the police department, it would be logical that if the police chief were going to make a statement, and I think he's done that eloquently in the past, that it should be in conjunction with approval from the mayor. So he's got to be working with the mayor on that. So for us to then make a motion that our borough manager is the spokesman for the police department, seems to me, after the mayor's comment, seems to be not the correct procedure.
Is there any more
I just have I think they're two separate things. What you're mentioning is he's allowed to speak to, like, on behalf if there's, a news story, things like that. Like, that's not saying he's not able to do this. This is the social media posts that, should there be an emergency with the police, should there be something in the borough that they've done an excellent job posting about the information, that's like their role. It's not saying they're taking over, they can be the only ones to talk to.
Well, I mean, we don't have to make, this really doesn't have to be that complicated. What we need to do is appoint a press contact for the borough. That would be our responsibility. It seems like it's up to the mayor and the police chief to decide who they want to be the spokesman for that department.
And so we should amend this particular motion and remove and Beaverboro Police Department. And let that be a conversation between the mayor and the police chief.
Well, what was the term that you just said, Mr. Dilo? Public spokesperson? Could we add an agenda item here to be the media spokesperson? Because social media is like writing out the information for the public. And should there be an emergency, to go on TV is something completely different.
It's all falls under the press office. And what we're doing here, is identifying a press contact. You want someone, regardless of whether it's a story about recreation or whether it's a story about, some incident in the police department, you want to make sure that you got the right people that are representing your community. And that's the point I was making.
Any more discussion? Okay, so we're gonna go back to the motion. It's back on the table. We have a first, we have a second. All those in favor of the motion that I just read out, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those, not in favor, please say. I'm sorry.
Say no.
Any nays?
Any nays?
Nay. And Roberta, I think the mayor's gonna be able to trump this motion. So I think it's rather meaningless for us to keep discussing this.
But it passed with 4 votes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your discussion. Let's move to the earned income tax, voting delegate.
14.
Yeah. Earned income tax,
Yeah, it's different off the agenda.
okay. Okay, this one here? Okay. The alternate delegate to the Beaver County Regional Council of Governments. This was one that we wanted to, is that the one where we're not sure about the COG having a bit of a different?
Yeah, so we spoke with COG and we're seeking to try to get clarification if you're permitted to have a representative from the borough who's not an elected official. Previously, this was Alex Andres, who represented Beaverboro in his role as counsel. And we're seeking clarification on whether anyone from the community could be appointed if council were to choose rather than someone specifically voted in the council. We also do need an alternative as well, too. So what you have on your agenda right now is just the alternate. We're trying to get clarification, which we can do later this month, once we get clarification from Call as far as if that's an option or not.
Okay, so do we want to move ahead with the alternate?
You're going to need an alternate, so you can move forward with that, and then we'll get clarification on the actual underlying delegate.
Okay, Jared, may I ask you to read this one?
I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint Margaret McKean as Beaverboro's alternate delegate to the Beaver County Regional Council of Governments.
Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor?
Wait a minute, no one discussed this with me, and I don't want it. So,
But you've been the alternate for years.
and I know, because,
Oh, by
you
default.
know, I don't do anything. And it's, you know, I'm happy to be the delegate to the COG, but I'm not gonna sign my name up to just be a figurehead, sorry.
No, Alex expressed an interest when he left that he would like, if he was able to, maybe we could flip it around.
And you can be the alternate,
Yeah.
feel free.
Okay,
So if you want to amend that motion to have Ms. McKean appointed as the delegate, it sounds like you're willing to accept that.
I am.
I'll amend it. Or like motion to
yes,
amend
so
it.
instead of alternate delegate, it will read as the delegate to Beaver County Regional Council of Governments. And,
We have a motion, we have a second for that motion. Now we can vote.
Okay.
This is for the actual delegate,
Correct.
and then what we will do is we will look for the alternate delegate to put on your meeting at the end of January, get clarification on if it has to be someone from council or not.
okay, all those in favor of Ms. McKean being the Beaver County delegate to COG, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move to earned income tax voting delegate. Bob, would you please?
Move the Beaverboro Council appoint Todd Hyman as Beaver County Beaver Council Government's earned income tax voting delegates.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of Todd Hyman as the Beaver County Regional Council of Governments earned income tax voting delegates, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion's carried. Appreciate it. Earned income tax and per capita tax collector. Mr. Delay, do you want to read this one?
I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint Berkheimer as the earned income and per capita tax collector.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of Berkheimer as the earned income and per capita tax collector, say aye. Any opposed? That motion's carried. Okay, the real estate tax audit. Todd, would you like to do that one?
I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint Butler, Agnew and Associates for an audit of the real estate tax.
A second? Okay. All those in favor of Butler, Agnew and Associates to serve as to do the audit for the real estate, say aye.
Question.
Okay.
I just wondered if there's, and this is really a question for Garen, if there's a conflict between having them be both the borough financial auditor and the real estate tax auditor, if we shouldn't have two different firms doing that work.
I'm only presuming because they put in for both that they don't believe that there's a conflict.
Well, of course they wouldn't.
I think there's a professional obligation for them to point one out if there is one. But we can check in and say if you want to table that one as well too, we could. So we get clarification.
I don't think it hurts to have two different auditors looking at that. It's up to you folks.
All those in favor of tabling the real estate tax audit?
So now we have-
We would need a motion to table if we wanted to do that.
Okay.
Right now, you have a second.
So do
We have a motion in the second right now for Butler, Agnew and Associates to be the real estate tax audit if there's a motion to table. I don't know if there is or if there isn't. If not, then you call the vote.
Let me make a comment. We've considered changing auditors in the past at different times. It's kind of a difficult thing to do in a small community. You just don't have a plethora of appropriate groups available. And this group has done a nice job for us over the years.
So I think we're gonna continue with the vote. All those in favor of Butler Avenue and Associates to serve as, do the audit for the real estate, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's carried. Official depository. Peg, do you wanna do the official
Sure.
depository?
I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC, as the official depository for Beaverboro.
Is there a second? Todd? All those in favor of PNC Finance Services Group to serve as the official depository, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried. Next, the authorized signature for PNC Bank. Whitney?
I move that Beaverboro Council approve Michael Dealey, Roberta Good, Dan Magler, and Rebecca Phillips as authorized signers of borough checks.
Is there a second for the motion?
Second.
Okay, Bob. All those in favor of the Beaverboro Council approving Michael Dealey, Roberta Good, Dan Magler, and Rebecca Phillips as authorized signers, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
And Todd abstains. Okay, the motion's carried. The reappointment of the vacancy board chair. Bob,
The Beaverboro Council reappoint Mitch Sefton as the vacancy board chair for a 2-year term.
is there a second? Todd? All those in favor of Mitch Sefton serving as the vacancy board chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion's carried. Thank you, Mitch. Appointments to the Municipal Authority Board. Jared?
Based on the recommendation of the Municipal Authority Board, I move that Beaverboro Council appoint Andrew Scott to the Municipal Authority Board expiring January 1st, 2031, and Pete Damasimo to fill an unexpired term expiring January 1st, 2028.
Is there a second? Whitney? All in favor of these appointments to the Municipal Authority Board, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I abstain.
Okay, Todd abstains. Motion's carried. Okay, reappointment to the Zoning Hearing Board.
Based on the recommendation of the zoning hearing board, I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint Mike Kelly to the zoning board, hearing board, with a term expiring December 31st, 2028.
All those in favor? I'm sorry, second. Jared? Okay. Thank you. All those in favor of the reappointment of Mike Kelly to the zoning hearing board, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's carried. Department, reappointments to the planning commission. Mr. Dealer?
Based on recommendation of the planning commission, I move that Beaverboro Council reappoint Dan Martone, Dave O'Leary, and Steve Madron to the planning commission with terms expiring December 31, 2020.
Do I have a second? Okay, thank you. All those in favor of the reappointments to the planning commission to include Dan Martone, Dave O'Leary, and Steve McGrew, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, reappointments to the HARB. Todd?
Based on recommendation of the HARB, I move the Beaverboro Council reappoint Chuck Copeland and Lisa Sattler as the HARB, to the HARB, with terms expiring on December 31st, 2030.
Is there a second? Peg? All those in favor of the reappointments to the HARB, Chuck Copeland and Lisa Sattler, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's carried. Whitney, do you want to do
Borough Council adopt Robert's Rules of Order for council meetings and work sessions.
Second. Thank you, Peg.
Just to point out, there are a couple of provisions between the Borough Code and Robert's Rules of Order that conflict. In those situations, we would follow the Borough Code.
All those in favor of adopting Robert's Rules of Order, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's carried. Okay, so now we're going to move into the acceptance of resignation. Let's see. Bob, do you want to read?
Move Borough Council accept the resignation of Councilmember Sean Snowden effective January 5th, 2026.
Is there a second? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the resignation of Councilmember Sean Snowden, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried.
I'm assuming we got something in writing from him, correct? I didn't see anything.
No, I think he had something, but I'm not sure if he got it in, submitted it. He had the night he was here, he had something, and he's been sick for the last couple of
I
weeks.
see. Okay,
We'll make sure.
okay.
We do have documented his comments, and I think they're in the minutes.
Yeah, he made it.
So
clear
we've got
that-
documentation.
I think he also had the letter.
Okay.
Okay, for the next two motions, I want to report that I have several people who submitted letters of interest, and I'm going to read the names of these individuals, and if there's someone that you would like to appoint, please say.
Yeah, and let me clarify things, because it's something here. What you have listed for number 27 would be the appointment for Sean's vacant term of 2 years. There's another vacancy that was created whenever Bob won both the 4 and the 2-year term on the election. And our understanding, based on the paperwork you submitted, Bob, that you're going to accept the 4-year term, correct? So 28 would also be a 2-year vacancy based on the fact that earlier this evening, Bob, whenever he submitted his paperwork, submitted paperwork saying that he was accepting the 4-year term. So you do have currently two-year vacancies within Ward 2. Once those vacancies are created, which both of those were created tonight by accepting Sean's resignation and by Bob choosing to take the 4-year seat, council has 30 days with which they can choose to fill those.
So let me read to you the names of the people who have submitted letters of interest. Aaron Cook, 459 Commerce Street. Jennifer Harris, 564 River Road. Tom Hamilton,
I'd like to
604.
nominate Tom Hamilton.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to nominate Tom Hamilton.
Okay, let me finish. Daniel Valentine, 506 4th Street. Phil O'Shaughnessy, 740
That's already
Turnpike
Phil
Street.
O'Shaughnessy?
Let me finish. And Ellen Kretschmar, and Ellen, I just have Ward 2, I don't, okay. Okay, so now let's go to the motion.
Roberta, Rebecca Clark on Bank Street would also like to be considered. Because we only announced this through the agenda for this meeting, rather than put out an e-blast or post it on the borough website, I don't think we have a full complement of people, perhaps in Ward 2, who are interested in this position. As everyone on council will recall, Alex Andres wrote a very impassioned letter to all of us, saying that this practice of announcing vacancies and then having people lined up that have gotten inside information and put forward their candidacies without having broader engagement with the public is a practice that we should not continue. And I think that we should table both of these motions for our next meeting. We have 30 days to fill these positions, and I think we should put it out on the borough website. I think we should distribute resumes for anyone who's interested to everyone on council. And I think we should open this process up instead of making it a friends and family arrangement, as has been done in the past.
Karen, can I ask a question about that? Because I do agree with Peggy on this. If we were to table these, and what would be the time frame, and when would we do? So, from what I recall, you can choose to set up an interview. I think whenever I was appointed at one point, we had a group of us that came in. Council gave each of us a couple of minutes to just introduce ourselves to the board, and then everybody picked after that. Is that how this would lay out if we chose to do that? And which meeting would it be? Would it be the voting session or the work session?
Well, I think we're gonna get to that. I think your voting session next week is going to be canceled. So you're looking at a next meeting would be January, whatever the.
17th.
Later than that, I think. 27.
Yeah. I think so.
27,
You
yeah.
gotta remember, we've got, the clock is ticking. We've got, 30 days from
Today.
today. Okay. And otherwise, it goes over to the vacancy board. And I'm sure Mitch is eager to activate the vacancy board. But I think we on council should do everything we can to make sure this is filled before that. And sorry, Mitch, we don't want to put you to too much work here.
So your bites at the apple are to do it tonight or to do it at the January 27th meeting. How council chooses to go about that way is up to council. That's your prerogative, whether you want to set up interviews or not.
Are those who applied here? Or is everyone on that list here?
I don't know.
Aaron Cook, is Aaron Cook here?
No, he was tied up before.
Jennifer Harris? I'm here. Here, okay. Tom Hamilton? Daniel Valentine? Phil O'Shaughnessy? Ellen Kretschmar.
Can we give them a minute now?
So we have the people who have submitted letters of interest, knowing that these were going to be vacancies on our agenda tonight. I think it's important that we continue, and I would like to continue with moving the Beaverboro Council appoint. So, our names were,
So what, do we have to vote on this motion
I'm
on the
sorry?
table?
There isn't a motion to table right now.
Right.
So right now, there's either nominations, a vote to table, or a decision to set up interviews or whatever else council chooses.
so we're saying that these last two we're going to table.
I don't think anyone's saying that yet. I think we're trying to figure out what to do. And right now, there's no motion out there. There's no nomination.
I move that we table these. We can have a meeting next week. We don't have to cancel next week's regular meeting. We can just have a meeting to consider these two motions. We have the power, we're the council.
The secondary question would be, how would we get this word out? So I think Peggy, what you said was there was.
For a
really no-
website, e-blast. There are ways. It shouldn't just be up to us to, go around and get our friends to come in here.
So we need a second for.
There's a motion to table this. Is there a second for the motion to table? Being that there's no second, you would look for.
I'll second.
You have a second now for a motion to table. I'm presuming we're talking about number 27 and 28. Both
Correct.
vacancies.
Correct.
So,
Karen, now we have this open up to discussion at the table. Can I ask you, is it commonplace, I know you work with other boroughs, is it commonplace to have an open session for people that are interested to come in and speak, or am I like way off on that?
I would say that's not common.
It's not common. Doing interviews, so typically you get a list of names like we have, they put their names forward and we just pick and choose.
That's the common practice. We have to motion to table first.
Okay, so we have to,
We have a vote on the motion to table. So this will be a motion to vote on tabling items number 27 and 28 as listed on the agenda.
so all those in favor of tabling the last two motions, please say aye.
Aye.
say no?
No.
No, okay, so we are going to fill
So now you would seek nominations for those.
nominations, okay, so, and Whitney, you made a nomination.
I did.
Okay, do we have, your nomination was?
Tom Hamilton?
Is there a
Is
second?
there a second for Tom Hamilton? Todd, all those in favor of Tom Hamilton serving as Beaver
Are we
Council?
not having any discussion or letting these people speak?
Letting who speak?
Pardon me?
Letting who speak?
Letting the people who are wanting these positions to speak. I mean, I'd like to know why Tom Hamilton wants this position after being voted out as mayor. I think it's a really sad coda to your legacy, Tom. Come here after you've been voted out and want to be on council just so you can undermine the person who took your job. It's sad. And I think it's beneath you.
I appreciate Tom's history that he has on this council. I appreciate his background. Just like I appreciate Mr. Delo's experience. I think he can bring a lot to the table with how government works and how it has worked in the past.
So we have a second?
Yeah, so we have a motion and a second.
We have a second, so, all those in favor of Tom Hamilton to fill the vacant two-year term in Ward 2, please say aye.
Aye.
Those, opposed, say no.
No.
Motion's carried. And then the final one, let's see. Okay, again, this is for a two-year term for Ward 2, and, I believe, Bob, you mentioned Phil O'Shaughnessy, so do I have a second for Phil O'Shaughnessy to be the Beaver Borough Council member from Ward 2 to, fill the two-year term?
I will second.
Okay. All those in favor of Phil O'Shaughnessy?
Can I make a comment?
I'm sorry.
My discussion is that he came in second in a very contested race, and he was the only two on the ballot that beat out the primaries, so he seems like a logical choice to come to that position.
Any others?
Again, this is another individual who has a conflict of interest with being a relative, not only of a member of council, but our assistant borough manager / borough secretary. And I think we have enough conflict of interest with family members having employees on staff here, council members having employees on staff. We don't need another one. We have an opportunity to put new blood on this council, and we're going back to the same tired practices. And I think it's a shame.
So the motion on the table for Phil, is there a second?
There was a second,
Whitney second. So, we're gonna vote, for Beaver Borough Council to appoint Phil O'Shaughnessy to fill the vacancy for Ward 2. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
I abstain.
Okay, Todd would abstain, okay, and the motion is carried. And that is our final motion for this evening. I thank you all for being here.
Roberta, thank you.
We need a motion to adjourn, and I think just for purposes of clarification, as we discussed earlier, the next council meeting would be January 27th at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
A motion to